First slide is business law in practice. NAIRAC based report on exclusion clauses and directions duties. Welcome to my presentation for Law 8916 Business Law, Semester 2 2025. This case based assessment examines two scenarios using the IRAC method. Clauses in contrast and director's duties under the Corporations Act. The analysis highlights fairness, accountability, and governance in Australian business law. And another slide is outline. Purpose of the presentation. Case study 1. Exclusion clauses and negligence. Case study 2. Directions, duties, and AIC powers. Legal analysis using IRAC method. Key findings, recommendations, and conclusions. And slide 2 is the outline. In this presentation, I will cover two case studies. First, I will analyze Omi Ward's reliance on an exclusion clause in a negligence claim. Second, I will explore a director's misuse of a corporate fund and duties under the Corporations Act. I will conclude with key finding, implementation, and recommendation. And another slide is third slide, which is case study 1, issue and rules. And the key issue in case study 1 is whether Omi Woods can enforce an exclusion clause after Jackson's injury. Jackson signed a document headed Marketing that contained the clause raising questions of enforceability. Under contract law, corporation by signature matter or courses of dealing determines validity. Cases such as Yale Strength v. Grounded and Couser v. Brown show expectation where documents are misleading. Statutory protections under the Australian consumer law also apply. Section 18 prohibits misleading contract conduct. Section 23-24 void unfair terms, and Section 60-61 impose guarantees of due care. Together, these rules form the legal framework for assessment. And another slide is case study 1, application and outcome. And applying these rules, Mayor's clause in unlikely to be enforceable. Although Jackson signed the form, it was presented as a marketing document, creating a misrepresentation similar to Couser v. Brown. He was rushed and given no reasonable notice. Contrary to the Thornton v. Sway parking. Under the ACL, the term could be demand unfair as in ACCC v. J. Richards. Jackson may claim remedies for breach of contract negligence based on Dono v. Sevenson and statutory consumer rights. Possible defenses include assumption of a risk, voluntary non-fit injury, or contributory negligence under Civil Liability Act, but these are weak. And another going to case study to issue and rules. Case study to issue and rules. Case study to asks whether Alicia breached director's duties by diverting $6 million from Covell Limited. The Corporation Act codified these duties. Section 180 requires directors to act with care and diligence. Emphasize in Daniels v. Anderson and Asic v. Haley. Section 181 mandates a good faith and proper purpose, supported by ASICB ADR. Section 182 prohibits improper use of a position, while Section 183 prohibits improper use of information. Section 184 elevates reckless or dishonest breaches into criminal offense as clarified in RB Byers. These statutory and case law duties provide the framework for analyzing Alicia's conduct. And another slide is a six case study to application and Alicia's conduct clearly breaches multiple duties by transferring funds to her trust accounts. She misused her positions and failed to act in good faith, contraventing contraventing sections 181 and 182, using Cowell Limited's assets to artificially support Soya Limited's share price reflect an improper purpose, neglecting the solvency of both companies during a financial crisis indicates a breach of section 180's care and diligence requirements. Her actions could also be reckless or dishonest, involving sections 184's criminal liability. This situation mirrors ASIC v. ADR, where misuse of related party funds lead to penalties. Alicia's breaches expose her to severe consequences. And on slide 7, penalties, defenses, and ASIC power. The Corporation Act provides significant penalties for Alicia's breaches. Civil penalties include pecuniary fines of to $1.11 million, compensation orders for company losses, and disqualification from directorship under sections 206C, criminal liability under section, defenses such as the business judgment rule under section 182, or reliance on professional advice under section 189 to 190. However, these are unlikely to succeed due to her self-interest. ASIC has broad powers to investigate, pursue civil penalties, enforce undertaking, or refer matters to the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecutions. And another the slide 8, recommendation and conclusion. In summary, Omi Woods cannot rely on its exclusion clause. Jackson has a strong contractual tortious and statutory claims. Alicia's, on the other hand, committed multiple breaches of the Corporations Act, exposing her to civil, criminal, and regulatory consequences. These case studies emphasize the importance of consumer protection, farmers in contract, and accountability in corporate governance. The key recommendation is that organization implement strong compliance training, clear risk management strategies, and transparent governance framework. By doing so, business can minimize legal risks, maintain stakeholder trust, and consumer adherence to both contractual fairness and statutory directors' duties. In Australian business law,